Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another one of my casts. I am Infinity Gaming's Outlaw, and I have a great game between two Grandmasters level players. In the bottom right, we have the red Zerg, SCA ZaiZai, and his opponent in the bottom left will be Infinity's TTF. Infinity TTF is a member from my clan, Clan Infinity, and a great player. He is a contender in the upcoming show match against White Raw. He will enter the open tournament, and hopefully he can challenge him and hopefully win. He's a great player, and I actually was personally coached by him. He's very knowledgeable and uses a lot of good tactics. He's one of the best micro players that I've seen in a while that's really up and coming. However, I don't know too much about his opponent. However, I do know he is a Zerg. So, be that as it may, I expect good things from him, as this is a Grandmasters level player. And we are on Shakura's Plateau, which so far has really been more dominant for Protoss in the fact that they can easily wall off at that ramp at their natural, and the third is actually really easy to take as well. Now, a quick scout coming from TTF after laying down his pylon for his Forge first expand, as it seems, and he's probably going to complete that with a Forge right now. There it is. Meanwhile, ZaiZai is just now going for a 13 pool. So that's relatively safe. He'll get the Lings out to deal with the scouting probe and to clear out any kind of pylon that would be used to block his hatchery. Meanwhile, an Overlord is on its way, so he's going to get scouting in that capacity. Spawning pool is about halfway finished, so ZaiZai is going to send this drone out at 16. So we're going to see that 13 pool, 16 hatch. The timing's not too specific, nothing that I recognize that's very famous from those times. But that pool, or that hatch, is going to go down, and TTF is going to continue to harass. Meanwhile, TTF realizing that he went for that expansion, he can expand himself safely. And I wonder if ZaiZai will go ahead and expand right behind this. If he was paying attention, he'd see that TTF did put a pylon behind his base. Now that could be either to, yeah, it looks like he's going to eventually apply some kind of cannons and cannon rush that expansion. He wants to wait till it gets finished, though, or just before it finishes, so that, oh no, he's just gonna get out of that because he has been seen, and there are now Lings that have entered the playing field. Meanwhile, ZaiZai is, oh wow, he is rather, well, he did do an extractor trick. Meanwhile, TTF getting a gate and a cannon up, and pretty soon he may put another gate up to complete this wall off and then cancel it, turn it into a cybernetic score. I do like how ZaiZai was checking for proxy pylons around the map. He doesn't want to get any crazy warp in from TTF at all, because those could do a lot of damage, especially if he rushes +1 upgrades. And no, he's actually going to complete it with a pylon, so that's a little different, but a lot of the pros do that, and it's pretty darn effective. Meanwhile, he hasn't really built anything in his mace. He does have one assimilator going. Meanwhile, ZaiZai has no extractors, so he's playing a little bit of a Spinishua style where he's waiting till very late in order to get the gas and just going to defend with a lot of Zerglings. Cybernetic score to add on to this wall off, so TTF just macroing up at this point. Meanwhile, the queens are now, there are a few queens out for ZaiZai. He does have, well, he is just continuing to get queens from his main. Meanwhile, he should be sending one out there, and eventually he'll use it to spread his creep, which is also very effective. Looks like a fast third going down for ZaiZai. So we are going to see a macro battle between these two players. It'll be interesting to see where each one goes in their tech path. You could see Stargate, Robotic Facility, or some kind of Twilight Council tech for TTF. Meanwhile, ZaiZai still hasn't managed to get any gas, so it may be a little while before he does anything. But he is just going to constantly drone up from this point on. Lings at the front of TTF's base, so we can see exactly what, if he's planning to expand, move out, or whatever. The assimilators are continuing to go down for TTF, as he looks like he's ready to tech up. Warp tech is just being started. It's about a quarter of the way done. Meanwhile, the gases are now being taken by ZaiZai. One assimilator, two assimilators, and you know, I could make any kind of Dr. Seuss joke at this point, but right now both players playing a very safe style at this point. ZaiZai is most likely going to get a huge supply lead due to the fact that he has 3 bases and he can constantly increase his supply in that fashion. He's now sending his queen up there, drone transfer on the way as well. So ZaiZai definitely definitely macroing very well. I see no real issues, no major supply blocks that I'm noting. TTF is now getting his assimilators. He's about 3/4 of the way done with Warp Tech, and he's getting level 1 upgrades. He is getting a robotics facility right off the bat to get an observer out, so he's definitely still going to play rather safe. I do like how ZaiZai is getting the creep spread out, and that's very critical for the Zerg in this matchup, where he wants to get vision ahead. If TTF somehow moves out with something he's not prepared for, that could be detrimental. Roach Warren has gone down, and now we see a lair is on the way. That's also very good. We still don't see any, well, yeah, we now see that an Evo chamber, rather, is also on the way, and a second extractor. Still not a lot of extractors, so he's definitely waiting to get the gas. I don't think, well, he could still take it any which way. He is just now getting metabolic boost and putting down a spore crawler at the top of his natural. That's also a very strong choice. More photon cannons going up for Tubby. Realizing, yeah, that stands for Tubby the Fat. Sorry, I didn't make that clear earlier. So he is going to put down 3 gateways. Looks like he's, yep, so we're going to see 4 gateways as he finishes that. And he is getting a robotics facility, which is now pumping out immortals. No, that's pretty good. He does have an observer that's moving around. He hasn't seen too much. There is a spore crawler there to deal with any sort of observers that may come around. You see glial reconstruction on the way, so we're probably going to see a lot of roaches. He's getting his first batch of roaches out, so immortals going to be a very good decision by TTF. This overseer is going to get some good scouting, going to drop a changeling, but he did pay attention to that, so he should probably focus down that changeling. And yep, he just killed it with a probe. How much is ZaiZai gonna see? He's gonna see, I think he really only saw, yeah, he only saw the robotics facility and a couple of gateways. But now this is an interesting timing for ZaiZai. He is trying to spread his creep, and he does now have speed for Lings, but he's not going to use any. Now getting a Hydral Ascend, so you are going to see Roach Hydras. He does have almost all of his extractors at this point, so definitely playing a style that I have seen before. But right now, he is getting some immortals. He's chrono boosting them out. He is working on level 2 weapon upgrades. Right now, the roaches are pushing out, and this might not be the best choice, as TTF has a lot of force fields ready as he takes his 3rd expansion. This means that ZaiZai either needs to attack right now and hope to do damage, or expand himself. I don't think that would be the best decision because he's not at a good position to take a 4th base. However, I do like how he does have a lot of roaches, and he now is getting level 1 range upgrades, but being behind in upgrades is a bad thing to be against a Protoss, especially on this map. But here comes the engagement. Great force fields keeping him out as another gateway is trying to be warped in to finish this wall off. However, that choke isn't the best for TTF, but oh, he is going to capture one of those roaches, and now they cannot do anything. This is such a good place for Protoss to expand because they can just force field that off. Basically, what I've heard Tastosa say is this is the awesome sandwich expand position, because you just butter this area up with great amounts of force fields, and you are in a delicious situation. Sorry for the weird analogy. Look at this, though. There are a lot of Hydras and a lot of Lings, so TTF might be in danger here. He needs to consider macroing up and getting a lot of units out. The Immortals in the front. Immortals are going to be incredibly useful. Suckers do have Blink as well, so we are going to see a favorable combination of units for TF. However, ZaiZai is getting at that max supply level, so this is going to be the most important fight. These units are going to try and run around. A huge fight is incoming as ZaiZai does have a decent amount of army getting caught with a flank, but I don't know. There are some great force fields splitting the army in half. Oh my goodness, TTF has great positioning. The Immortals, he is going to lose one. He's going to pull back, but he can destroy these roaches without a doubt. One Immortal looks like he could be in danger, but now TTF is starting to chip away at this Zerg army. The roaches are not doing that much as those force fields are superb. And now another good warp in, and I think TTF is going to look to be in great standing right now. Looking at the units lost, we now see 58 units killed and only 9 units killed for TTF. So I want to say he definitely won that engagement. He now has his third operational. He's going to add on a robotics bay and as well as put up some extra cannons. Another attack looks to be coming by ZaiZai. So can TTF hold this once more? Oh my goodness, he's going to need some perfect force fields, but not the best, as some units will get through. A Guardian Shield going down. He is microing very, very well, as these units aren't getting the best concave they could get. More force fields on the way, but he is running out. There are Lings moving forward, pulling back. You do see that more Stalkers are being warped in, but the Immortal's going down. Oh my goodness, this is so close. Roach is trying to do a lot of damage. TTF is trying to chrono out more Immortals, but TTF is looking to be in worse condition, but the cannons are the ones that are really doing a lot of damage. Will he warp in even more units as more reinforcements are on the way for ZaiZai? But these Stalkers, they do have Blink. I'm surprised he's not actually trying to Blink Micro, but he still holds this attack to a bare minimum. TTF also microing his workers so he doesn't lose that many. However, he has killed even more units. 36 units were lost by TTF that time. ZaiZai looking to be in great condition, but now the Blink Micro has come in. He is blinking back somewhat. Oh my goodness, more Immortals are on the way. Where are they going to hit? It was trying to focus on those instead. Another warp incoming, and oh my goodness, this is just so close. The fight just continues as the Hydras are starting to do a lot of damage as well. They do have only level 1 attack upgrades. Meanwhile, level 2 attack is done for these Stalkers. There isn't two Immortals in the back, so now it seems like a good flank has occurred. Is he going to micro that? Blinking forward, and he does lose one Immortal, but now, oh my goodness, TTF is getting even more ahead. He's continuing to produce probes. Meanwhile, a Spire is now being built. I do not see it on the map right away. There it is. There's the Spire for ZaiZai, and you'll probably see him. Has he put down an Infestation Pit yet? No, he has not. But you can see him going for Broodlords in the late part of this game. That timing was very strong for ZaiZai, but TTF has the better positioning and the better micromanagement to defend in this position. Oh my goodness, this is a great game by both players so far. An Infestation Pit is now going down for ZaiZai. So we are going to see Broodlords most likely. Colossus on the way. I don't know if this is the best position, but there still are a lot of Blink Stalkers for TTF at this moment. He'll also have a lot of Immortals. Oh my goodness, another attack of just mass Roaches is on the way. They do have level 2 attack upgrades, but he doesn't have an armor upgrade. He is starting to get it now. Oh no, here comes a very dangerous attack. Can TTF hold this off again? As he tries to move into this ramp, he could get a great flank here, as now there is a Colossus in there, but he may lose him if he doesn't micro them back. Oh my goodness, the Stalker's starting to do a lot of damage as well, but nope, the Colossus are going to be the ones to do a lot of sick damage, moving his army back. I'm surprised they aren't trying to focus on these Colossus. Oh my goodness. ZaiZai looks to be putting on a lot of pressure. Is Tubby going to be able to hold out? It seems like he will. I still think those Roaches would be able to snipe those Colossus if he put his mind to it. That could be very dangerous. This creep spread just looking more and more menacing as the Roaches are on the way. He is now starting to get out some Corruptors and a lot of Lings as Hive is started. Level 3 attack is on its way for Tubby the Fat, and 2 Colossus on the way. He is getting out more Immortals and level 3 attack. As I said, some sentries as well. Force field's going to be so critical. Blink down to Stalker that was on the high ground. More Colossus waiting on the high ground for an engagement up on this high top area would be so good. I see that he hasn't gone for extending thermal lance. An Overlord, an Overseer, I believe that was, will be sacrificed as another base is taken by ZaiZai. He has taken a couple more expansions to get the gas that he needs for the Corruptors and the Broodlords. Oh man, he has taken 2 bases in that struggle. Another attack is on its way up this ramp, but oh no, those Lings will get a run by. Oh no, that is not what he wanted. He didn't see that in time, but look at this. There are a lot of Colossi in this fight. The Lings are going to be killed by Zealots, so good decision making by TTF. Meanwhile, Colossus are killing the Roaches in the middle. Blink Stalker's moving up to kill the Corruptors. He doesn't want to lose these Colossus, but there's a chance that he might. And I still think Tubby has now gone ahead in supply. This is a bad situation for ZaiZai. Oh my goodness, this is almost that point where TTF can decide to move out. He does have the expansions. He does have his economy. He's got the military. And now Greater Spire on the way. So this is the time for Tubby to attack. He needs to get out there before there is too much for ZaiZai. Killing these creep tumors is another great decision. look at this. We see a reinforcement of, once again, a lot of Broodlords and a lot of Roaches. Not the best combination. I personally don't like that combination. You see why it's kind of being fended off. Now supply is basically even, as just more units are going to be put into place. TTF is getting a... as there are a lot of Roaches, and here comes another engagement. He does have a force field advantage. Here he comes. He is going to force field that army back. As, oh no, he is going to move forward and try and snipe some of these Colossus, but these Stalkers and Immortals are doing even more damage. He can afford to lose these Colossus at the moment, because they are going to be basically beaten back by these Corruptors. But look at this. The army's basically eradicated. You see supply going down into the 120s. Now TTF is going to be able to do a lot of damage before the Broodlords come out, as the Greater Spire is just about to finish. 17 Roaches are on the way, as he's just going to pick them off one by one. And it looks like this hatchery, ooh, he's going to blink onto them. I don't know about that decision, as more units are moving to the middle of the map. I noticed that there is not a good proxy pylon, so right now TTF looking to be in a great position. Supply dropping to 114, and LOL, Protoss so unreal, and he just leaves the game, so no GG. And you definitely see that it would be a GG at any point, because the supply had dropped so much. And that's just well played by TTF. I gotta say, he is one of my favorite players. He was a mentor to me back when I played Protoss, so this was a fantastic game. Check out his other replays and some other casts that some players have done. He competes in events like MLG, so a big shout out to him. Also, feel free to comment, rate this video, subscribe, like it. Please do that. It helps me grow and get my name out there so I can get better quality videos for you in the future. Other than that, I learned a lot from this game about the matchup of PvZ. Hopefully you did as well. I will see you guys next time. Probably post another video tomorrow. Catch you guys later. Adios.